All right, we continue in day 2 of Emerge Americas 2016. I have the pleasure now of bringing another one of the great speakers. He actually spoke yesterday over here, Christian Seale, founder and managing director of course, Startup Bootcamp, Digital Health, and this is quite interesting. And welcome to the program.
Well, thank you for having me, Pete.
You know, so much is going on with healthcare today, and such a focus. We were just having a conversation now before we started our talk now about health, wellness, the growth of the industry, the fact that technology is such a huge player, and it's not just supporting the industry, it is helping to change the industry. So a little bit about what you're doing here in Startup Bootcamp and how you got involved in that.
Sure. So agree 100%, that healthcare is really kind of transforming here in the U.S. And what we do is we're a seed fund and accelerator program for healthcare companies. And so we go across the U.S. and Latin America to find the best companies to bring them here to Miami, because we really think that Miami has an opportunity to win in healthcare innovation and really compete with Boston, San Francisco, Tel Aviv for one of the top healthcare hubs. And my quick background is I'm an entrepreneur. Out of undergrad, I started a company in Latin America. And when I was in Colombia, I was hospitalized, and I had 2 parasites. And I spent about 24 hours in the hospital. And when I was discharged, I got a bill for $53. Now in the States,
you thinking $53? Am my vision going on me here? Like a parking ticket.
Yeah, or a Band-Aid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so 4 years later, I found myself in New York. I dislocated my pinky. I went to the ER, sat there for about 6 hours.
Probably $300.
$17,300.
Oh my God.
So that's how I got into healthcare. And I said, I think Miami has a real opportunity. We're the city of 2050. We look a lot like what the U.S. will look like in 20 or 30 years.
Yep.
And already have a great healthcare base, whether it's Mako Surgical or modernizing medicine, many other companies that we can really compete. So that's why we launched Startup Bootcamp here in Miami.
Now, how are you, with those 2 personal experiences you had there, worlds apart? Okay.
Very much so.
Worlds apart, literally, geographically, and also cost-wise.
Sure.
Bottom line. What kind of an impact are you able to do with this organization? What have you seen so far?
So we've just launched, and we'll be holding a big event at building.co tomorrow if anyone wants to come and learn a little bit more of what we're doing. We'll be in 20 cities finding the best entrepreneurs that we can to bring them here to Miami. And so over the next 3 years, we'll bring around 30 high-growth startups to Miami. And the hope is that 15, 20 of them here stay and become a Mako Surgical. And so, it's our bet that in 2 or 3 years, people are going to be speaking about Miami in the same vein that they do at Boston or San Francisco for being a healthcare hub.
Now, you're at Emerge, and I don't know, did you come last year?
I came very briefly.
Okay. And how did you get involved, and especially the opportunity to speak?
So a few different things. We are, had great support from the community here. So the Knight Foundation is a huge supporter of our work. The Nicholas Children's Hospital, Univision, Microsoft. So some of the key players in kind of the startup ecosystem here are very behind what we're doing. So I was graciously invited by the folks at Emerge to put together a panel on why we're doing what we're doing. And we brought Maurice Ferre, who started Mako Surgical,
Yep.
Stuart Davis, who built a company with Phil Frost, publicly traded, and then Abhinav Gautam, who's an MD as well, who's exited a company. And it was just a great panel around, why build your healthcare company here.
Now, what do you see in terms of the industry moving forward, healthcare, and how can technology continue to support this important part of healthcare?
Sure. So, everything happens here.
Yep.
You don't need to go to the doctor anymore. You can put a EKG in here and get a reading. You can spit into a dongle, test saliva. There's so much waste in our system. We spend over $1 trillion on healthcare that doesn't need to be. You don't have to go to the doctor if you have a common cold. You can call up, and so everything's kind of starting here. Robotics are changing the way that doctors will practice orthopedic surgeries and others. IBM Watson is now making your doctor smarter. So before, you'd had everything in your head.
Yep.
Now you can use IBM Watson, and it will trawl all the encyclopedias of information to say, actually, maybe this is the diagnosis. Have you thought about this? And so technology is the word disruption is used a lot. I think
Yeah, we were just talking about it this morning on our drive over here that it's what it is. It's the buzzword.
very much so. But I think we're transforming healthcare because we don't want to disrupt healthcare. Disrupt means, maybe we're dealing with people's lives. We want to transform it so it's more efficient.
Disruption is a positive connotation. It's change of the norm, things that are not working anymore, or introduce ideas to enhance and be able to grow.
Sure. So I think technology is just really revolutionizing, transforming, disrupting, whatever word we want to use, healthcare, because we have such an inefficient system. And one thing we think a lot about is access. So here in the U.S., if you're born into the richest quartile, you're going to live 30 years longer than somebody born into the poorest. And I mean, we're the richest nation in the world. That shouldn't be that way. So I think what technology can do is bring better healthcare access to lower income communities that maybe don't have the ability to pay for cutting edge technology.
Sure. What are the opportunities in healthcare for yourself? I mean, you're a young entrepreneur, and what would you like to share with the folks that are listening right now as to the opportunities that are involved in your particular field?
Sure. So one thing we think about a lot is the demographics. So Hispanics in the U.S. will be over 30% in the next 20
Close
or 30
to
years.
60 million Hispanics in the U.S.
Currently. $1.4 trillion of buying power. There are 7,000 healthcare startups currently in the U.S. Only one, Consejo Sano, one of our portfolio companies, is working specifically on Hispanics' healthcare issues. You probably know very well, we access care in a very different way, especially for first generations. And I think there's a big opportunity to build culturally relevant Hispanic healthcare services. So that's one. It's really, really huge for us. Two, care is moving out of the hospital setting. So if there's anything that you can do to whether it's incentivize you to live a healthier lifestyle, not come to the doctor, really kind of take power over your own health, I think that's a massive opportunity as well.
Sure. Again, we were having a conversation before about Miami as a place where I think we have an opportunity to take this whole health and wellness talk and issues to a whole different level and galvanize the community for that. And again, be innovative as a city. We have so much innovation going on here. Let's tackle that, which is a national issue, and maybe Miami could be the hub of significant change.
Well, for us, we see an opportunity. Why not build your company in Miami? It's a great petri dish. We have what the U.S. will look like in 20 or 30 years. Why not leverage that petri dish to then scale up across the U.S. and maybe for companies that are interested in the Latin American market to test here, build down, and vice versa. So, I mean, to me, the question is, why not build your healthcare company here?
Absolutely. This is the place to be. We got about a minute left, Christian. Anything that you want to, any message that you want to send to our listeners now?
Sure. So I would say, not healthcare related per se, but if you're an entrepreneur thinking about building your company, you should come down to Miami. There's just such an energy and a willingness to help you out. And this city was born on the hustle. People have been hustling, whether it's in a bodega or a small, shop, for the longest time, and so it's in our blood here in Miami.
The literal knife in the mouth there, just surviving.
Exactly. And so I think it's part of the DNA of the city, and it's one of the few places that I know of in the U.S. where you can come and have an immediate impact and build the city that you want to live in. And I really think we're going to be the city of the future here.
There's no box in the city.
Not at all.
Everything is. Thank you, my friend. This
Thank
has been terrific, very inspiring, and the best to you, man.
Likewise.
Hope to see you soon again.
Take
care.
All right. Take care.